So hopefully you've managed to have a go at the skeletal system questions. So 5 questions to have a go at, and we're going to go through the answers now. The first question is, give a definition of a synovial joint. So a synovial joint is where 2 or more bones meet, and that allows for movement, and it's the movement part we need to have mentioned in order to get the marks. So if you've put anything to do with movement or freely movable, then you get 1 mark for that question. A rugby player will use their shoulder joint when making a tackle. Name the 2 articulating bones in the shoulder joint that are at risk of injury during a rugby tackle. So articulating bones just refers to the 2 bones that meet at that shoulder joint. And they are the humerus, which is the bone of the upper arm, and the scapula, which is the bone at the back of the shoulder. Cartilage plays an important role in the skeletal system. Assess how cartilage helps a marathon runner during performance. So it's quite a difficult question, this one, but it is 2 marks, so we just need 2 points. So if we've put anything about cartilage helping to protect the knees or the bones, or preventing friction, or preventing them rubbing together, or preventing wear and tear, then that's 1 mark straight away. And then hopefully we remember that cartilage is a shock absorber, which helps absorb the impact of running. So if you put anything along those lines, there's a 2nd mark there as well. So I think they're probably the 2 most common answers: protects the knee or the bones and acts as a shock absorber. But you could have put about providing support or stability, providing some flexibility. You could have linked it to movement, connecting to bones, and keeping the airways open. But I think those first two answers are probably the most common and the easiest to get down. Describe how the skeleton performs 3 of its functions. So the skeleton has 6 functions, and we need to describe 3 different functions. It's not quite enough just to put the function itself. For example, if you've just put support, you're probably not going to get the mark. We need some sort of small explanation as well. So if you put the skeleton offers support, and this helps to keep the body upright, then that would be worth a mark. Again, for posture, very similar. If you'd put about this posture helping the skeleton to stay upright or giving correct body shape, that would be enough for the mark. For protection, we could have given an example. So you could have said the cranium protects the brain, the ribs protect the heart. Or if you just put the protection of vital organs, that would be okay for the mark. Movement, if you link to the skeleton allowing for movement or leverage, or if you'd link to joints in any way, joints allow for movement, that would definitely be enough for a mark. Blood cell production, if we're given an example of red blood cell production or white blood cell production, you might have said why that is important. For example, red blood cell production, make sure that the body can deliver oxygen around the body. That would be enough for a mark. And finally, you might have put storage of minerals and given an example of calcium and phosphorus as well. So 3 marks in total, so you'd need 3 different functions to get each mark. Which one of the following is not an articulating bone of the elbow joint? So we've got 4 possible answers. The humerus is an articulating bone of the elbow joint. It's the upper arm. The lower arm, the bones that make up the lower arm, are the radius and the ulna. Therefore, the answer has to be the clavicle, which is the collarbone.